because maybe this is meant to be the Emotional Roadshow Part 2. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, depending on when you're watching this. How's it going, guys? First off, hope you're having a good day today. Hope your day is going well, and hope it continues to go well. Last night, 21 Pilots played their first show of the Clancy Tour Breach Edition in Cincinnati, Ohio, and we talked about the setlist on the channel last night. People have thoughts. People had thoughts in the comment section, on Twitter, on Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, Discord, wherever people talk. People have thoughts on the set list, and my own personal thoughts about it. And I wanted to highlight someone else's thoughts I saw on Twitter this morning, because it's a very interesting idea. So, let's talk about it, shall we? If you missed it, no need to watch last night's video. This right here is the set list. It's a total of 28 songs compared to the Clancy Tour's 27. If you take a look at all these songs, take a look at what albums they're from. There are 3 songs from Vessel. There are 4 songs from Trench, including a little snippet of Pet Cheetah. So, 4 with an asterisk. There's 1 song from Clancy, 2 singles, 4 songs from Clancy, 5 songs from Breach, and a whopping 9 songs from Blurryface. That's what people have an issue with the setlist about. There are 5 songs from Breach, 4 songs from Clancy, and 9 in total from Blurryface. There's one comment I saw, it's like, who wants to hear 9 songs from Blurryface? Their most successful album. But that's what people have a problem with the most. Back in the Clancy Tour, the World Tour edition earlier this year, they did 6 songs from Blurryface, 10 songs from Clancy. So what in the world gives here? Well, first thing you gotta remember is that this is a B-leg for the Clancy Tour. It's a Clancy Tour B-leg at the end of the day, because it's still being advertised as the Clancy Tour. It's much like the Icy Tour is a B-leg for Takeover Tour, and how the Bandito tours had B, C legs off of each other. Where you do your set list the first time, you typically do all, if not most, songs from the album. And then when you go on your B tour, you see what works, you see what didn't work, and you switch those songs out. Seeing Takeover Tour and Icy Tour, they did less songs from Clancy that second go-round. Much like how during Trench, when I saw them in Pittsburgh, they did Trench in its entirety. When I saw them at Penn State, they took a lot of songs from Trench out. You aren't going to do the same amount of songs from Clancy that you will do on your A leg than you will do in the B leg. The skeleton bones will remain. Some transitions will stay the same, such as you'll start with Overcompensate, you'll finish with Trees. You will still do some great transitions, such as Shy Away into Heathens, Navigating into Next Semester. You still do Nico and Narius into Heavy Dirty Soul. You'll still do Routines of the Night transition over to B stage. Skeleton Bones will remain. You see what didn't work, and you replace those songs out. The reason why this B tour is different is because we added a whole nother album in the mix. We have never done this before. 21 Pilots have never done a year back-to-back album release. So, you have to navigate how you're going to throw new songs in there. So, Tyler's going to be like, alright, what are my favorites? What do people like? You take a look at the stream numbers. Raw Fear is one of the most streamed ones outside of the singles, and so is Garbage. So you're going to throw those in the set list, you're going to make them work. Contract, Drum Show, and City Walls, those are singles. You're going to throw those in the set list as well. Okay, yeah, but that still doesn't explain why there's 9 songs from Blurryface in the set list. It's funny, 9 songs from Blurryface, 9 Bishops of Dima. That's kind of funny to me. But the thing you also have to remember about this year in particular, it's Blurryface's 10th anniversary. But twixt Clancy Tours, you had Blurryface 10. You had rumors going around that there was going to be an Emotional Roadshow Part 2, which was fueled by the pilots earlier this year when they were in the European tour cycle of the Clancy Tour with Tyler's tour shirts. If you didn't know, back during those shows, Tyler would put collages on his shirts that would contain images from the band's past, as well as some stuff from Pinterest, that's it. One of those places. It had a lot of dogs, a lot of rabbit imagery. Death inspires me like a dog, inspires a rabbit, and would often contain images of Tyler from the Emotional Roadshow era. This was on a majority of Tyler's tour shirts, was Heavy Dirty Soul imagery, as well as Emotional Roadshow Blurryface era stuff. If you're putting a lot of fuel in the fire, that we will be getting Emotional Roadshow Part 2. Of course, we were leading up to Blurryface's 10th anniversary. We knew this. They put a lot of things out, such as the Doubt demo. They had great anniversary merch for it with the Blurryface 10 stuff. People thought, and there were rumors that they were going to announce a Blurryface tour. And it seemed like they, fueled by Ramen, put a lot of promotional stuff into Blurryface 10. I come to realize this now, looking back at the fact, there was a lot of promotion going to Blurryface 10, especially on the boys' Instagram and Twitter, where they were doing an ARG with Blurryface. They were doing a bunch of stuff. And then, Breach. We get the announcement of Breach. Out of left field completely. There's a great thread on Twitter by Vic, at Wrist of My Mind, which the I's are replaced by ones. WR1STOFMYM1ND, who points out that it's possible that Breach was moved a year earlier for various reasons. Because you take a look, there's a lot of hype behind Blurryface 10. There's way more Blurryface songs from this tour, from the Clancy Tour Breach Edition, than there has been in quite a long time. It's been a long time since 21 Pilots did Polarize. It's been 2 tours since they did Message Man, a Lane Boy. It's been quite a long time before those songs. And here we are, back again. It's quite possible this was meant to be the Blurryface 10 tour. But then they pushed Breach up. For maybe various reasons. When Tyler was in the Australia, New Zealand leg of the tour, he said that him and Josh wanted to return to them way sooner than 6 years, which is the time between Bandito Tour and Clancy. Tyler wanted to get back to them sooner, but maybe there's a multitude of reasons why that Breach got pushed up, such as a certain drummer having a child, being a first-time parent, and them 21 Pilots is Tyler and Josh, and kind of need the drummer. You really need the drummer. And I'm not saying like they would have known about this, and Vic also says this, not knowing about last year in November, because of course not. The baby would be here by now. But there are other thoughts in that factor as well, such as the boys need a break. They deserve a break. This is quite possible that they were going to do Blurryface Tour and then take a little break, then do Breach in 2026. It's very interesting stuff to think about. So, and also you take a look at the visuals from last night. There's a lot of Blurryface visual. There are a lot for Blurryface visualizers there. There's a lot of stuff in there. You take a look at the contract stuff. It was mainly, from what I saw in the stream from when it was loaded, was like just a lot of the floating past Clancy avatars in the background with Josh's mask. So it's very interesting. Now, I know people are going to be like, well, maybe they could take the feedback and change the set list for tomorrow or tonight's show, which they really can't do that, because a lot more goes into set list planning than you would think, because visualizers need to be made. You need to program lights. You have to relearn how to play songs. You have to program the backing tracks. You have to program the click tracks. You have to make sure it lines up within your time constraints for the show, because you do have a time limit. You do have a curfew of how long you can play, because city stuff, and also union for tearing the stage up and down. So you have to fit all of this stuff in there. So it's not like they can be like, hey, people didn't like this, so let's go ahead and scrap 4 songs from Blurryface, and let's relearn how to play Tally, Downstairs. You want to do One Way? Sure. What about Days Like... Nah, people didn't really like Days Like Dormant. We can't do Intentions, but like that would be the conversation, is like trying to figure out how to fit those ones in. And as well as keeping your fan favorites. They are never not going to do Stressed Out. They are never not going to do Heathens. They are always going to do those 2 songs in particular, because they are part of the big 3. They are going to do those. It still blows my mind, like they scrapped Car Radio, but still. People have been wanting Car Radio gone for a bit on Twitter. I realize now. I remember seeing a lot of people like, yeah, they should get rid of car radio. I've seen them 40 times now, and I'm like, stop. Quit complaining. You don't, like, be fortunate. But it's part of the big three. And the fact that it got knocked out, Ride's the other one. They're never going to not do Ride. They're going to do the radio hits. Of course they're going to do, because that's what, if people are casuals, that's what they'll know them for. If it's from the parents that are dragging their children, that's what they're going to know them for, is those songs in particular. So that's my defense of the set list. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. They have changed things in the past, like they did add the line midway through the tour in Latin America. But they're also on B stage where there really wasn't visuals. No one was paying attention to the stage. So, if they add something, it will replace Message Man, it will replace Polarize, it will replace Pet Cheetah, it will replace Chlorine. It'll be one of those. That is your monkey's paw there. Anyway, guys, I'll see you all later. Goodbye. Again, more importantly, have a good day. And I'll see you later.